Good morning and welcome to episode 10 of Victoria's Cozy Toes. I'm Vicky. I'm a knitter and a crocheter living in Derby in the United Kingdom. I've just realised I never have to get my hair tied back. I never tie my hair back when I'm recording because I don't like it. So yeah, this is episode 10. You can find me on Instagram as Victoria's Cozy Toes. I'm also on Ravelry as vickitheterror. This is the second attempt at recording. For those of you that have seen before, you know I had a bit of a technological nightmare when I came to editing last time with things not talking to each other. So I'm having a go at recording on my laptop. Trying again because the volume the first time wasn't great. So we'll see if it was any better this time. I'm using the laptop microphone this time to see if that helps. So it's 3 weeks since my last episode. I've got a few finished objects. Touched one of my whips. There's some new starts, a few more of them than you think. A little bit of incoming yarn, some plans for the next few months, and quite a big life update as well because it's been quite busy around here. So yeah, what have I actually finished? Well, the first one is going to be no surprise to anyone because last time all I needed to do was sew buttons onto it. I was waiting for the buttons to arrive, and here it is. So I have finished the Wowligan cardigan. This is a pattern by Davies. So as you can see, it's got these lovely, you can just see the owls here. I've used blue buttons all the way around for the eyes to highlight it. So this is for a friend whose due date was yesterday. Baby's still not appeared yet, but due date was yesterday, so at least everything's ready to go. It is written for Debbie Bliss Cashmerino, which is a sport weight yarn. I've used King Cowl Cotton Soft in the Orchid colourway, mainly because I'm a bit worried about them washing Cashmerino. I've seen people felt it, namely my sister, so I really didn't want something that she had to worry about washing. And I also just felt that it's a nice yarn. However, being a bit thicker than the project required, I actually chose to do the stitch count for the 6-month size, but did the length for the 12-month size. So it's come up a little bit big for 6 months, more of a 9-month cardigan, but that's okay. It'll work. It'll fit when she grows into it. I always tend to knit bigger for babies because they grow quick. So yeah, that's my first finished project. My second finished project, you also saw last time. I have realised I didn't put a marker in it last time to say where I was because I think I was so many markers on it anyway. And that was the Woobie elephant blanket that I was doing. Well, it's better on that hat, doesn't it? And last time you saw it, I was somewhere in this grey section. So I finished the grey section. It's really well written. You actually move straight. I'm not going to give too much away because it is a paid for pattern, but you do move straight from the grey section into the head, so it's all attached. As you can see at the back here, there's absolutely no sewing of the head on. The only bits that are sewn on were the ears and the eyes, so it was a really well written pattern. Again, I have actually used the King Cowl Cotton Soft, so the bottom is the orchid to match the cardigan. And then it's white and silver, which match the other blanket I've made for her. Yeah, one eye is not as good as the other, but it is what it is. It gives them some character. The only concern I had, because I was using cotton rather than wool, was gapping around the head here, particularly at the back. So you can see a little bit of gapping here, where the cotton's just doesn't fluff out like wool would. So what I've actually done is put the stuffing inside a pop sock just to help hold it secure inside the elephant. But yes, he's done. He, along with the cardigan, the blanket, and the outfit I've got will be going to baby via Nana possibly tomorrow, or might drop it off Wednesday. But yeah, that'll be going soon. So those are the 2 finished objects you've already seen. there is another finished object that you hadn't seen last time, and that is, I did talk about wanting to start them, and it's the Daedalus socks. So this is a pattern by Kelly Menzies, who designs as RowRow and Kades. She's doing a 12 sock knit along over 2 years. So you've got 2 months to knit a pair of socks, and each 2 months she chooses one of her patterns. And I believe she puts a discount on it for that time as well. So I'd bought the Daedalus sock pattern previously because I'd liked it as soon as I saw it, but really couldn't understand how mosaic knitting worked. It just seemed bizarre that you just slip stitches, but then you've got long stitches, and yeah, it just didn't make sense in my head, unfortunately. So I went on a course just over 12 months ago to learn to do it, and it just clicked. And I love mosaic knitting. I've done a cardigan, a couple of cows, and now some socks in it. So yeah, these I'm really pleased with. I really like them. I might be breaking my rule of giving away my socks this year. I'm really tempted to keep them. But I also know one of my friends will look at them and go, wow, I love them. Can I have them? So umming and ahhing on that front about whether I keep these or give them away. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to put one down so I can talk about the yarns I've used in these socks. So the pink yarn, which I know it changes colour as it goes down, is a sock blank that I bought from the Discreet Unicorn when she had her moving sale. It was a double-stranded sock blank, so obviously you've got the same on both socks, which was really good. I used just over 20 grams of that. This is the leftovers from one sock. Talk about those in a bit. So that's that one. The blue, now this is where, sorry, I've already recorded this one, so I can't see where I put the blue yarn. There it is. I can reach it. I know I've not put it away because I can't get the cupboard. Just all the state this place is in. You'd understand why. There's a lot of work stuff in the house at the moment. So anyway, this is Yarn Smith's Merino sock. The colourway is called Royal Blue, I believe. Yes. And it's 2K302. As you can see, I have used quite a bit of that. It's not just been used for the socks, though. I have used it for other projects as well. We'll come on to where I actually bought it for in a bit, because that comes into plans. So yes, this was a cast on and is finished. I do need to get some pictures of them. Just holding it in the hope that YouTube might go for this as my thumbnail, because I do really like them. So yeah. Okay, we'll see what happens. So yeah, those are the 3 things I finished. It has been really warm, and actually working on something like that, it's been really nice in the warm weather because it's small, it's little, it's easy. So whip wise, what have I actually worked on? Haven't touched my mum's jumper. Haven't touched my square a day blanket. Have done one hexagon, but I'm not going to show you because it's only one hexagon. I'll show you when I finish a colourway. This is the one whip I've worked on. You may remember I actually said I wanted this finished by last Thursday, and it didn't happen. I say the lady I was thinking of giving it to doesn't know I was planning on that, so. But yeah, it's the burrito blanket, which was from the Company's Coming Crafts crocheting book that I'd picked up at cheap in Aldi. It's also an Aldi yarn, and last time you saw it, I was here. I've done a whole 5 rows in 3 weeks. I was thinking about why I've only done 5 rows in 3 weeks. One is I don't want to work on it. It doesn't bring me joy. I would rather, particularly when I got into Daedalus socks, I was obsessed with them. I was blitzing through them. Whereas this, no, it just doesn't appeal. I think it's a mixture of the yarn and the crochet, and the fact that if I do too much of this, it does seem to make my wrist ache. Whether that's because my wrist is just having an achy time, because it does, or whether it's this, I'm not sure. But I think it's going to just sit there. If I can keep going on it, great. I'll try and keep going on enough on it. I'll probably give it to Christmas. If I've not done anything more by Christmas, then I'm going to frog it and get rid of the yarn. Because I've had the yarn years, and if I'm not going to use it, there's no point keeping it. So that's my plan with that one. So now we come to what I've cast on. And this is why the episode's called Socks, 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 because all I've wanted to work on is socks. Mainly the Daedalus socks, which are finished. However, I have cast 2 other pairs of socks on as well. So last time I showed you this yarn, find it here, which was still skeined, which was my June sock yarn. Yeah, it's in a little sleeve now, but from the Discrete Unicorn. I'm still on sock 1. Yeah. What you couldn't see in the skein is the yellow, really bright yellow, is actually not dyed alongside the red and green. It's opposite it. So the yarn's from Nottingham. It is a yarn shop. I couldn't see whether they'd still had their own yarn online or not. Did have a look last time. I'm doing this to be a slightly bigger sock. So I'm thinking if I can get a foot length of 60 rows, small man sock really, because it's on 64 stitches. It is a slightly more rustic sock yarn, especially considering it sort of came in a skein. It looks a bit nicer. It is more rustic. My niece isn't having a pair of these. No, not doing them for her. She won't appreciate the colours. They're a bit boring for her. So yeah, she's not going to have a pair of these. So yeah, that's my June socks. There are 3 days left in June. Hitting my goals in June might be a challenge. But we'll see. So obviously I still need to do a pair of socks for my niece. So yeah, I'm doing a pair of socks for my niece. This is the first one. So it's got a shadow wrap here, which disrupts the colour slightly less. So this is the continuation of the colour from the Daedalus sock. So kind of you can see it actually coming on, going into the purple more now. Yeah. This is the first sock, because I say the second ball I've not started. And I think I've done 20 of the 30, 20 something of the 32 rows. That markers the end of the heel. So yeah, 20 and a bit rows of her foot. She's only got a little foot. It's about 35 row foot, maybe 36. Not a lot. So I'll have a bit of this left over. But yeah, it will have still used most of that yarn. So yeah, up till last Tuesday, that was what I'd cast on. Socks. And as I say, in the hot weather, that's really what I wanted to be working on. I didn't want to work on anything big, heavy, fluffy. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. It wasn't as hot last week. So I did start another project. And I started. Again, this is a project I talked about wanting to do last time. And I know I showed this yarn when I first got it. So this is the Giddy yarns strut colourway, excuse me. So this is her label. And as I say, it's the strut colourway. And it's merino mohair single, so it's superwash merino and mohair. And I'm doing, you can just see it here, the Tydes cardigan by Rebecca Clow of the Crea. You just see a bit of it there. Now, this is designed to be a stripy cardigan. She's designed it that you do it in multiple colours. However, I've decided this has got a bit of variation. I'm just going to use one colour because I want a tonal cardigan. Doesn't go with this dress, but it goes with a lot of my other clothes. So that's my plan. Now, I am being good. This is the reason I had to pick it up carefully, because I've got 2 balls. It's hand-dyed. I was a little bit concerned that when I did the rib, which is in one colour, there is some, you can just see in the rib, there's a little bit of variation in the colourway. I was concerned that if I kept going, I might find that change from ball to ball. Obviously, being a cardigan, I'm knitting flat, so I can't do a helical net. So I'm doing 2 rows in one ball, 2 rows in the next ball, and just working like that up the body. Obviously, it's bottom up. There's an awful lot further to go to make a cardigan for me. It is 4-ply, but I'm using 4mm needles to get that slightly looser look lightweight look that I want from this cardigan. So yeah, we'll see how we go. That might get put away because there's more heat coming, and I'm not being funny. Mohair in heat is no fun. I've not enjoyed mohair in heat last night. I was like, yeah, no, not touching that. So that's what I've been casting on. So what's come in? Excuse me, I need a slurp of coffee. Excuse me, and the sun's decided to come out. So I've been quite restrained with what's come in. Sorry, just living in this tote bag because it's easier for me. As I've said, I'm doing just 2 yarn clubs this year. And the idea was that I then wasn't bringing a lot else into the house, which I have failed on. However, I'm still trying to do the 2 yarn clubs. So the month I'm doing the mini a day from Cuddle Bombs, which hasn't arrived. Nothing new's arrived since I last recorded. And then I'm doing the monthly mystery mini skein boxes from Mousewitch yarns. And she's had the option to purchase them in seasons. So I've got... You're not going to behave themselves, are they? June, July and August boxes. I'm not going to show you what's inside them because obviously they're still available and they're mystery. So I will show them once possibly when I get to work in them. Certainly it'll be September, October before I really show them hexagons from these. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more about them because I say they are still available. I then also did get one other skein from Mousewitch yarns this month. And there was a reason behind that. These back in here out of the way because, as I say, space is a bit of a premium at the moment for various reasons. And that is that over the last few months, well, since January, Mandy's been doing Advent Revisited as a full skein. So that's her label, and that's the yarn. And this is Glasgow Cathedral. This is the one that when I saw it in the Advent, is the really spoke to me, and I was like, oh, just love that one. I really love that one. And I'd said, well, I'm not buying out all the skeins. I don't need 12 different or 24 skeins of the Advent yarn. However, my favourite, I am going to get my favourite. I really don't know what I'm going to do with it because it's beautiful and it's too pale for socks. Might be a hat, might be a cowl. I've not decided. At some point, it'll become something. With the rest of this is mainly yarn storage. This unit here that you can just see just see this bit back. But that's project bags. But all the other 9, 11 cubbies are yarn or projects. Yeah. That's the idea being that everything fitted in there. It don't anymore. I need to cull not cull, but I need to work through things and work out what I am now not keeping. So yeah. So that's what's come in. So now we come on to my plans for the next 3 weeks. It is going to be 3 weeks before I record again, just because of how things fit with life and stuff that's going on, which we'll come to in a minute. Obviously, it will be the 1st of July on Tuesday. So I will be pulling a sock yarn out of my box. I do know that I put 2 Christmas yarns away. So my plan is to pull one of those. I don't know what they are. It'll be a surprise. But yes, it'll be a Christmassy sock for July. I want to get on with Mum's jumper. I need to get on with Mum's jumper. So it's sitting down there. I'll be honest, the cleaner comes in next Wednesday. So I won't be doing it before then. But once the cleaner's been in, I think I want to do that. I've got another project that needs a bit of repair and alteration, and that's this. So just in case it didn't pick up the first one, let's just hold this up and show you this. This jumper was my younger niece's Christmas present last year. Yeah, last year. And this is what I bought the merino sock for originally, because everyone said how lovely it was. And I was looking for a 4-ply yarn to do it, but I could get the nice colours in. She absolutely loves it. She has worn it. You can see wear on it. If you look closely, there's a bit of wear, there's a bit of pilling. But there's not loads for saying she's worn it. However, the reason I've got it is she's grown. Not so much in the body, because I made the body quite long. Her arms have grown, the sleeves are short. When I saw her at Easter, she's got it on. I said, oh, it's getting a bit short in sleeves. Do you think I need to make the sleeves longer? Because I'd done that to her sisters. And she said, yes. So we'd agreed that she'd bring it on holiday. I'd take the yarn on holiday. We'd do it on holiday. Well, I forgot the yarn. She forgot the jumper. So it didn't get done. So I saw her last Sunday. And she was very clear that I had to take her jumper. So I've got her jumper. So what I need to do on this sleeve is take this rib off, put a couple of colours on, put the rib back on. Also need to just do a quick count, make sure I remember what I did. I think I know. So yeah, the plan is to try and make that longer for her. I'm not sure when I'll see her next. It'll either be in the summer holidays or September. Yeah, so that's, again, I'd like to get on and get that done in the next 3 weeks, to be honest, because it's a relatively simple job. It's a relatively small circumference. It won't take very long. So actually I could get that done and ticked off and ready to go back to her. So yeah, that's a goal for the next 3 weeks, to get that done. So that's that. Right, so my final plan was based on what you lovely people said. So last time I showed you 3 shawls I was working on. The Cloudbreak shawl, the Tessello cowl, and my summer song shawl. I asked you lovely people which one I should concentrate on finishing first. And I offered this skein of yarn for everyone who commented about a shawl, and it's got these Christmassy stitch markers ready for July. So there were 7 comments, and they broke down to 1 vote for the Tessello cowl, 1 vote for the Cloudbreak shawl, and 5 votes for my summer song. So I literally had the comments up in the order, and I asked our friend whose name begins with A in the corner, I'm not going to say it because I don't want to set all yours off, which one I should do. No, not which one I should do, which number, to pick a number between 1 and 7. She chose number 1, which was Little Likac, so I'll try and put the name up on the screen here. So yeah, Amanda, let me know when you're at Knit Group and I can get this to you there. Okay? So yes, my summer song came out top. So here it is. So yes, it's this blue and grey shawl with the coloured inserts. And I think I've done 3 inserts and there's 7. So quite a bit to go. I've only done 3? Yeah, I've only done 3. So yesterday when I recorded and didn't work, I put this little ice cream marker on because I was like, it's summery, it's summer, let's have a nice progress keeper that I can see, so we can see how much progress I make over the next 3 weeks. I need to get the pattern out and familiarise myself, but I will make a go at it. I will probably swear at the needles this is on, because unlike most of my more recent projects, this is on Knit Pro needles, which I used to use a lot. I haven't been using as much recently because I found that although I like the feel of wooden needles, I find they split, or they bend and I break them. So these were compromised. They're wooden needles with metal tips and attachments. But then I found occasionally they catch on these, which is when I went over to Chalgoo pretty much consistently. I might just change it over to Chalgoo. I'm not quite sure. I'll have a think. So yes, this needs to come out. I need to have a look at it, work out what I'm doing, and crack on with it. So that's that goal. So yeah. So yeah, that needs looking at and working out where I am. So then we come to life. Now life is lifing at the moment in quite a big way. So last time I'd not long come back from holiday and I mentioned some changes at work. We're now 3 weeks down the line. We're all running clinics using the new systems. There's been lots and lots of little hiccups and step backs and things that need sorting. I say I've been doing 3 weeks. I've not. I've done 2.5 because I'd taken Thursday, Friday, Monday last weekend. And I went up to the Lake District, which is an amazingly beautiful place in the UK. It really is my happy place in the UK. If I could go live there, it'd be amazing. Practically, it's not possible, but I would love to live up there. So yeah, I went up Thursday. I was staying with some friends in a little village called Pardshaw, or Pardshaw Hall, the actual place to stay is. And it's a Quaker centre there. It is beautiful. It is basic, but it is lovely. It's so peaceful and quiet, and it's just south of Cockermouth. So yeah, it's literally 5-minute drive from there. We used to go up, and we've been going up for 15 years now. 2010 we went up for the first time. This is the 16th year. We missed a few with COVID. We originally went up to go to Woolfest, which was a big wool festival held in Cockermouth Agricultural Centre. Unfortunately, that's changed hands, and the wool festival isn't running anymore. However, we still go up and meet up as friends and have a weekend. So I went up on Thursday and stopped at a National Trust place just south of Kendal, called Sizer Castle, which was lovely. I could have spent an awful lot longer there. However, it was really warm and I wasn't walking around the gardens for hours in the heat. It was just too hot. The castle itself was lovely and cool. It was beautiful. Then went up and met everyone. We went swimming in loads of water on Thursday. Friday, we swam in Grasmere a couple of times. Not actually from the village, but you can sort of get to the other end of the lake. There's a bit of a beach area. Yeah, it was beautiful. Saturday morning, some of the others got up ridiculously early at 4:45 and went and swam for sunrise on solstice day. I wasn't fussed. I'd rather sleep. More important to me. That was Saturday. Then weather was due to change, so we stayed quite local and went round to the back of Water. So you can swim off the side where the road is, which is what we'd done on Thursday evening. Or you can park in a car park and you walk through the forest. It's a really, really accessible path to a little beach on the other side, which is what we did on Saturday. I swam off the back of Water, which again, it was beautiful weather. It's just gorgeous. You just wanted to be in the water. However, yeah, the weather did change as we were having lunch afterwards. It started to rain a little bit and it was just miserable. So we went into Kendal because there's a shop there that does something, it does loads and loads of different patches, but they do a range called the Wild Swim Club, and this is one of them. This is a brand new one they've just brought out. And it's loads of water. So they had 10 lakes. This is the 11th lake they do. I have 9 of the 10 because I've swum in 9 of the 10. So then Squeals one we found there was a loads water one. It was like, yay, we can have loads water. Now, bear in mind that loads water was the very first lake I ever swam in. So the first time I ever open water swam, it was beautiful. So yeah, it's kind of special to me that way. I also have, and it's the only place I have, skinny dip there. Don't tend to now because I find I get too cold. But yeah, again, it's the only place, and yeah, it's special for that reason as well. So Sunday, as I say, came back, roads were horrendous. It took well over, I think I should have done both bits of the journey. I actually stopped on the way back at my sister's, who's in Manchester area, which is where I saw my nieces. I had a lovely time with them and my sister, and just playing and yeah, chilling and everything, and got given the jumper, and then came home. Monday was supposed to be sorting out the house, and I had a couple of appointments and things just didn't happen, and I've been back at work since. And life's not going to get any easier over the next few weeks. Tomorrow I've got a summer fair with guides. So we're doing some fundraising, basically doing a stall with sweets and things. So I've got stuff in the house for all of that. And we're on the countdown to guide camp, which just seems crazy. So yeah, I think it's 4 weeks to guide camp. So yeah, now I've got one more. I worked out 3 weeks. It works out to record weekend before we go to guide camp. So yeah, where's this year going? Who knows? So yeah, I think that's about everything. So please, if you like the podcast, give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe. It really helps my channel. And do you know what? I'm going to copy what other people have said. And if you've got this far through, leave me an emoji. And I'm going to suggest it's an ice cream or an ice lolly, given the heat wave we're about to have. And I'll see you again in 3 weeks. So I hope you stay well, and your sewing and everything, knitting, crochet, all goes well. And I'll see you then. Bye.